Greetings, everybody. This is Joanna from Heavenly Radiance and Universal Love Light and Joanna's Breakthrough Series. Today, we're going to be talking about breaking through to seeing new visions and being new visions and creating that vibrational resonance of who you are at your core, to break through old versions and the cycles that we continue to feel ourselves being pulled back into, especially as the light bodies open up and as our higher selves integrate with who we are. Oftentimes the ego pulls us back into those old cyclical patterns and habits and ways of behaving, because those of us that have been awakened for some time and those of us that are newly awakened, we're here to show the way and clear the way for others to follow, to understand who we are, what we exist within, and what exists within us, and how we can move about our planet in a more joyful, loving, benevolent way, releasing all aspects of fear and separation, if you will. And we see that playing out in our collective, and how some of those energies affect the multidimensional bodies. And it's really important for us to our ability to break through into new cycles of heightened leveling up energy, if you will, those new patterns, templates, the higher versions of you, the infinite aspect of you, requires that we do that daily self-care, the dream time journaling that are showing us realignments and recalibrations, or what's really happening in the world that's unseen, that we're actually co-creating through our beautiful frequencies of the resonance of who we are within as we're clearing and cleansing. And so that daily self-care is really important, because as we're continuing to cycle up through Ascension, we're calling in those higher aspects of all that we are. At the same time, we're also harmonizing lower aspects of other timelines that we're integrating, the whole self, the soul self. We only say higher and lower because they're completely different frequencies on the experience that we move through in life. So whether it was a very fearful lifetime or an aspect that was really pulled back in the density of role definitions, if you will, or subjugation, whatever it might be that you're healing. So it's a simultaneous, always constant movement, and why it's important that we do that self-care so that we're always harmonizing at our center. Otherwise, we're constantly moving in a waffling experience, which is really hard on the body, and it allows for a longer process to then again rebalance, maintaining your center and grounding with Gaia, so that you're moving in a very masterful way, using your wholeness of your source and your soul that's living through you to guide you, and your higher self to guide you in your moment for moment experience. So what we wanted to talk about today in that breakthrough experience is that we understand that there's all of these different cycles and vibrations, and how every moment we're creating these choices to come forward and create from anew. Our core vibration is what we experience. And knowing that the mental, the physical, the emotional, and the etheric is in an ever moment of harmonization based on where your central core vibration is. So if you're feeling, whatever emotion it is that you're feeling, the mastery part of it is to rise above, perceive everything from a higher perspective, knowing that everything is unfolding for you to stretch and press out your master experience, your mastery, your higher consciousness leadership, your breakthrough new version of you. And instead of waffling around in the experience of it, and that's really a challenge, because that's all we've experienced through all of our timelines, is the psyche experience, to figure out from where you are creating the problem from, as opposed to, okay, there is a process, and there are things unfolding, and I have the skills, I have the wisdom. Because that's oftentimes why we stay in those cycles that don't feel good, that are unnecessary, is because we don't think we have the skills and the wisdoms to move into something brand new and exciting. Where humanity sits right now is that those that have been awakened for a while, and those that are newly awakened, there's going to be mass awakenings, greater lightship occurrences, greater lightship. It's going to be a mass turn on, it's like turning on the light. And that means that those of us that have been on the path for a while are going to be shifting up into a level of co-creation and collaboration that is unlike anything we've ever experienced. And so what that does is that as the higher self comes in to harmonize, trying to pull you up the ladder, if you will, unknowingly we can feel ourselves unknowingly resisting that process, because this is all we've ever known. We've never taken ourselves to that fifth dimensional level. So I offered a class last night in a webinar for my clients, my global clients last night. And we were talking about what we are aligning ourselves with as unseen. And so that takes creativity, it takes imagination. That's why our harmony with who we are as source, our harmony with our higher self is so important, because they're the ones guiding us. We can call on these higher vibrational dimensional visions, these higher vibrational codes, these higher vibrational musings, or new creative gifts that will help us align with that ever stepping up ladder, if you will. And what I've been finding is that when I'm feeling as if I'm being pulled back into these cycles that are so familiar to the ego, that are so familiar to the human self, if you will, I return to my center and I begin aligning with a higher version of me, or the version of me that is the angelic or the master. Even though I'm a master now, I'm not disregarding that, but the versions of me that I hold in that resonant remembrance. So Archangel Michael has a resonance for me. So then I align with Archangel Michael or Mother Mary or the Christ, whatever vibration that I realign to, so that I am able to level up and step up in pure alignment with my truth. And so that leveling up and aligning with that higher vibration, because we're co-creating through the imagination, through our new creative gifts and skills, how our minds are all being reorganized and repatterned for higher vibrational co-creation. And I'll talk about that in a second. So it helps for us to, in our human form, as we're transitioning from 3 to 4 to 5D, to provide those experiences that we have had in the 3D of the archangels and the ascended masters and many masters that walked on earth, but allow it in our creative imaginings, so that we can pull up ourselves up, if you will, vibrationally to that resonance, to say, this is the vibration I'm going to move in with: unconditional love, compassion, brilliance, creativity, compassion, whatever it might be that master offered, courage, faith. You know, Archangel Michael is all about courage, so that's what I'm aligning with him now. And we do that because creatively, that expansive energy will pull us in many different directional threads, if you will, so that we're purely aligned. Because what I've been feeling is that as the light bodies open up, and as we open up as a collective, because everybody is at all of these different frequencies and there's so much going on in our collective, the multidimensional bodies in and of itself can feel very drained, very tired. The ascension frequencies of we'll just talk about it right now, what's going on in the brain, the higher self that is coming on, the vibrational codes that we're moving in, shifting into these 5D templates. The brain is being reworked and repatterned. And I've found myself this week just not remembering how to speak, because we're now shifting to a telepathic frequency. And so I would be in the middle of saying something and I would completely forget the words. And I would feel what is moving in my peripheral vibrational energies is that I'm slowly being pulled up into a frequency, bit by bit by bit by bit, through which this now moment is becoming no longer, because we create our realities in the moment. And if we're stuck within those vibrational experiences, the vibrational experiences that feel more dense and challenging and struggling back and forth, it's very dense, it's very material. So what I've been experiencing lately is these shifts of consciousness of in between, and many of those that have been awakened for a while feel those vibratory voids, if you will, where you're not here, you're not there, you're not anywhere. And those are a challenge to move through, because we've never been taught or told how to do it, and the ego is completely discomfort. It feels as if it's out of its zone and it doesn't know what to do and doesn't know how to control anything, and it's not meant to. So when you're in those moments of, okay, what's going on, and you're missing, you're feeling as if your head is, the words aren't coming out right, or you can't even think of the word that you were going to think of. You can see it in your image, you're having a picture, a vision of it, but your mouth just can't say it. So these are the rewirings that's going on for these higher vibrational experiences to communicate. They're preparing us for our multidimensional first contact and multidimensional contact with our teams and all the beings and all the planet energies and the Gaia energies that we're working with. And why I've been working with sound and bringing in more light language, so that we're activating the fields and we're activating what's meant to be activated. So there's many, many beings that are with us in all of our sessions that assist with the healing and assist with the multidimensional smoothing out, if you will, the transition between old and new. But it helps that we take mastery and ownership of that. So anytime those densities and those negativities come up and those old patterns, just know that It is peeling away the layers and allowing you that moment. What is my now truth? What is my soul's truth right now? And in that soul's truth, I can choose to create this version of me. I can step up and level up into what is my highest version of me. Well, the highest version of me has never been co-created in this experience before, because this is new. So I can align myself with the highest vibrational being that I can choose to. And in that, just allow my soul to go. Because we don't want to put any restrictions on the soul or the higher self of the spirit, because it knows what it's doing. We just need something from our 3D to 5D for us to anchor with. Because what I felt is that if we don't find something higher to anchor with, then we keep running in these cycles that do not serve the light body, and they don't serve the light frequencies of what we're trying to shift into. And it's really allowance. So find that vibrational anchor just to pull you up, and then let the rest allow. Like flow your God source, flow your source, and then flow the higher self and the soul through you. But you can choose to create that higher vibrational alignment through the masters and through the ascended masters, whatever archangel, whatever frequency that you choose. It could be Mother, Father, God. You know, I've also used the Mother, Father frequencies as well. You know, for whatever situation I'm moving through, and whatever release I'm moving through. And so those leveling ups help you rise through and not get stuck within the cycles that you're releasing. Because the ego in and of itself will only know that cycle until you, the master of you, the center of you, says, we've got this ego, you need to relax, you need to surrender. This is how we're going to go. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to move through it. There's going to be stuff that comes up, but I can move through it. You know, and knowing that you've got the gifts and skills within you. And it just takes that leveling up to say that, okay, what is the skill and gift that I need so that I can work it in my way? We're giving you our offerings on what has worked for me, and all these changes that I'm feeling and sensing. And it was, it feels quite waffling when you're in that in between stage of stepping up into this new level that we haven't touched on yet. However, what I'm sensing and what I'm feeling though is that we're already there. There's aspects of us that are already there, pulling us up vibrationally through these threads of offering. And they're done through the dreams, through the meditations, and through the sensings. And how we're feeling and sensing and moving about our reality is going to be different. We're going to be sensing, receiving, and sending information that we've talked about many times before. So what we wanted to ask you is, we're but as we're opening ourselves up and we're pressing ourselves out for these new vibrational levels, what version and what is your highest version that you have of you? What vision do you have for yourself, and how can it be the most imaginative and creative experience that you can have? Moving through those in and out moments is really great in this now moment. But to take yourself to that next level, through which is beyond anything that's known and beyond anything that's understood or seen, what does that look like for you? What excitements and that childlike joy and that childlike play are living, asking for you to open and allow to live through? Because those higher vibrational states of leveling up, they're being driven from that sacred child within you, that sacral and that I am presence, and allowing us to be completely in the moment of sacred play, sacred excitement, sacred exploration, sacred expression, and being curious about life and the wonderment, the ponderment of life. And so these sacred, beautiful moments of us loving up in these new experiences truly take us away from being in the world and not of it. And that's where we do our highest work, because we're offering a higher vibration for the rest of the collective to also move up and continually work the energy. And that will require many, as we offered in our class last night, many light workers and many, leadership. We've called them the New Earth leadership. New Earth leadership are stepping up into new categories and new versions of reality, if you will. And it doesn't mean, those words don't mean anything what they mean for us up here in the 5D experience. And we don't mean that as a qualitative or quantitative experience. They're just the words that we have. It means that allowing yourself to be that forerunner of New Earth experience, so that you can show others through your emulation, through your illumination, through your state of authentic beingness, that you are moving and living in sacred ways, and you're living and moving in childlike, joyful ways, because it's not how it appears in the 3D, if you will. And again, there is no qualitative or quantitative experience. We're just only allowing you to see that how we run as a collective in patterns of limitation, in patterns of negativity, in patterns of cyclical limitation and fear, or greed, or subjugation, or control. Those are cycles that require us to completely step outside of, create a new vision, and step up into. And it's done through the infinity cycle of how are you letting go of what was in every moment anything comes up, centering within your source self. And that is that purity of essence of who you are as source. That's the alchemy. That's where alchemy occurs, is right here. It will always be where you're guided, how you alchemize, how you manifest. It's always from the center of your soul. It's never outside of you. And then you project that excitement and that joy. It's the flow of source creator. It's the flow of that life force that you, as a vessel of unconditional love, is allowing. We are each unconditional vessels of love. What stops us from experiencing it, receiving it, and sending it are the belief patterns of the psyche and all of the realms that we are transmuting, that we've created in all other timelines. We've created the negativity, we've created the things that come up to us in our emotional releases. And it's for us to recognize and say, where am I holding that belief of myself now? What belief am I holding of myself, or the vision of myself, or what have I taken on that have others given me that I'm ready to let go of? And then you just acknowledge it. You receive the love of it. You receive the lesson of it. You receive the story of it, and accepting and acknowledge all that you are, regardless of how painful or uncomfortable it might be. And that's the process of healing. So getting used to the cycles of your own ascension process. Are you in an awakening phase where everything is new and wonderful and you just want to explore it all? That's kind of where I am right now. All of these vibrational, multidimensional shifts, but in that process of awakening, there's still the fears that come up because we've never experienced it here before. And my teams are telling me that every time we harmonize with a higher vibrational aspect of our higher self, the ego will automatically kick in because it's uncomfortable with this new way of becoming. And that's why we're constantly harmonizing. But it requires that we constantly allow ourselves to dream and to create and imagining, so that our whole self, those parts that were still vibrating in worry and fear and anxiety, get pulled up with us in these ever creative moments of co-creation. That's the flow of the creative essence of source. That's sovereignty. For us to explore, to create, to experience all that we are as individual, unique beings of a whole collective. Therefore, our vibrational wholeness, our vibrational oneness, and our sovereignty to explore, express, and co-create, and examine and experience who we are, all of that allows that vibration to be offered to all others. And it's up to each individual person to go within, if they so desire. It's free will, of course, for them to go within and seek their own unique path of authentic awakening, and to reveal their own belief patterns, their own densities, so that they can release them in their own time in cyclical patterns. Because every unique soul has its own unique pattern and temperament and cycle. So what one person's cycle is not going to be what another person's cycle is. And so it's really good to attune yourself to what is your cycle. Are you in an awakening phase, integrative phase, or release phase? And those release phases usually come, they're a part of our process of waking into this whole being, because we must heal the wounds of the psyche wounds that we've carried for eons. Whatever is being projected back to us, where do we hold certain beliefs that are ready to be reunified into the greater whole, into the infinite? So to take ourselves from a 3D to a 5D requires that we're taking these vibrational creative resonance steps up. And how can we align it? How can we garner that frequency of up here, if you will, through the releases? And it's kind of a simultaneous, the more that we're moving forward in these accelerated energies, it can be done in like in my healing experiences in the mornings. Once I'm doing my healing and I'm cleared that belief pattern, and I understand where that belief came from and how come I've created other patterns and relationships that are related to that, I can then say, okay, I don't need this anymore, because I know who I am now. This is my new truth. This is my new soul truth. So I'm releasing that. Now I get to garner something new. And that's done immediately after the release, so that your body can get used to, this is your new vibration now. You're entraining it to a higher vibrational truth. And this is the constant process of, moving in and out of the multidimensional allness that you are. And you can gain great strength and honor in that. It's your job. It's your job to take yourself and create your destiny. You get to rewrite all that you are. You get to choose what your story is. You get to choose how vast and how infinite and how spectacular you are. That's you. You and Source are saying, Source says, you got it all. It's infinite. I'm giving you whatever you need. So what is it that you want to do? How will you be your highest vision and version of you? And how, in that loving, one, beautiful, compassionate, loving, nurturing energy, because that's the Divine Mother, honoring the sacred child development, honoring the sacred child being birthed, how can each and every one of us view and envision shifting the perspective of what's going on in the consciousness and see all others as that perfect sacred child. So anytime you have one of those moments that are agitating to you, when you're going through these shifts, it's showing you that perspective of what is your perspective in seeing them or experiencing them that is not their perfection. And this is how we move through a collective ascension, because those that are awakened, that are holding that vibration of pure light and pure love, we have that potential to see all before us as perfect source, creator, light, and love, so that they have that potential to open up and emulate it and be that, as opposed to us reflecting the vibration that we've always held them in, which keeps that limiting vibrational story playing between you two, or three, or four, or five, wherever it is, the collective. And one belief that I was clearing, many beliefs that I'm here to clear for other collectives. I can feel it and I sense it in my Akash, are collective belief patterns about, and this stems way, way back when humanity was first visited by celestial and ultra-terrestrial groups, the perspectives that humanity has held within the galaxy. And so I'm one of the ones, through my feeling and sensing it, of the perspectives of humanity and how we uplift them to a higher frequency of knowing through the vibrations we hold for them, through the unconditional love of our human family. And so feel into what beliefs you're holding as you're perceiving what our collective is moving through. And how can you perceive it in its highest perspective of angelic light that we all are? Because in our higher states of consciousness that are all moving right now, they're all collectives, we're all threaded as one. We are all higher self-source purification of angelic frequencies of oneness and light. Just as a cell within your body. If a cell within your body is needing your attention and you're clearing to bring that cell up to its highest Christic light, it's no different than the celestial beings that are those human beings in front of us, that are in forgetfulness. They're still in their awakening process. And there's no separation. Those are just the words that we use. However, we create those separations through our perspectives and our core beliefs. And sometimes we carry those with us through our caution, through our lineage, for us to clear. So that we perceive the collective, we perceive all nature, we perceive all wildlife as the perfect holiness that is Source Creator. And the tribes and all the council groups and celestial groups that we're working with are ever amplifying our empowerment, and they're ever, inspiring us. How can you hold that highest vision of who you are? You can align with that highest vision, but oftentimes we come from such limited beliefs about ourselves, and especially if you've been through, abuse in various forms, whether it's mental, physical, or emotional, those various belief patterns and imprints that we've taken on as sponges, as empaths, we have to then transcend those and create our own unique soul beliefs. Like, what is my truth with Source? That's when we return to the law of one. I am infinite, I am eternal, I am profound, I am creative, I am a divine being of holy light, I can create anything. That's when you're garnering and aligning with, say, Archangel Michael or Zadkiel. And then you're garnering those information, that vibrational thread, and those archangels are pulling you up as well, saying, good job, release those belief patterns. This is who you truly are. But it's up to us to choose to let it go. It's up to us to choose to say, that doesn't belong to me anymore. Those resonances do not belong. But the ego will want to keep you in there because that's all that it knows. So just understand that anytime you're in this new leveling up experience, there will be those discomfort energies of those shifts, in which there'll be relationships being let go. You'll see the truth of relationships. You'll resonate with what's going on and what's not going on. You'll see the truth in emails, and you'll be able to sense the truth vibrationally and alchemically, so that you can make a truth. Does this work for me or does it not work for me? So we're ever being given moments to level up. We're ever being given moments to say, okay, well, that was your truth yesterday. Who are you now? And it's an ever process of multidimensional love that you have for yourself. How can I create that most highest vision of me? How can I create the most expansive, creative, angelic version of me? This is how I want to see myself, and really play with it. That's that sacred child, because as children, we could imagine anything, So imagine the vastness of who you are. Imagine the vastness of humanity. Imagine the vastness of your loved ones. and and see them in the most angelic lights. You are an angel. You are totally an angel. You've got everything going on. Go within and believe in yourself. Go within and know that you've got the angels with you, got God with you. Everything is in your power. And empower everyone to be in their empowerment with Source Creator and work out their unique path, because that's how each person garners their own truth self-empowerment. They can't get empowerment from anyone else. Empowerment comes from within. There's others that supply the vibration for inspiration, but that empowerment is how we inspire each sacred child to come into their own unique belief systems, their own unique creative abilities, their own unique creative sovereignty. And that allows them to continue, because they'll remember far quickly the children that are, crystalline children waking up, and we're providing that energetic platform for them. That's why we have to step up and garner these new leveling up thresholds, if you will, and how to do it. And these are the things that I've been working with, and why I'm bringing it forward, because those of us that are leaders, those of us that are, on that leading edge, there are ways that we can garner and anchor down, if you will. Instead of anchoring down this way, we anchor down into a higher vibration, leveling up and ground, leveling up and ground, leveling up and ground. And we get to choose, this is what I want to create today. And set that intention. Today, I'm an open vessel of love. I'm an open vessel of unconditional love. No matter what, I will be unconditional. And I'm going to release that pattern of judgment. I choose to release it. And I'm going to radiate the frequency of Lady Nada. I'm going to radiate the frequency of the divine Gaia. She's so nurturing and so loving and so beautiful in her songs. I'm going to radiate the vibration of who I am. I get to move and I get to alchemize. And I'm showing you how to alchemy. This is how I have just always done it. It's just been something I've brought from other planets. It's just been so natural for me, and how to move and use movement and sound through the process of alchemy in light language. I'm releasing a negative belief. I'm releasing a negative frequency of all that I am. And I'm choosing in this moment of now, I'm going to alchemize into pure unconditional love of who I know I am. I am divine and unconditional. I am setting my vibrational field, the omnipresent of who I am within and without, as a new vibration of unconditional love. I am bringing the highest potentiation of all that I am, a Source Creator, and I'm bringing it down from the heavens. And I'm calling in my codes. My chakras are opening. They're spiraling with higher light. Every cell within my body is amplified. Every cell within my body is being reunited to its highest Christic energy. My cells know what they're doing. I'm calling upon my innate systems. I'm calling upon my Akash. All that I am as a soul, I know who I am. I'm garnering this higher vibration, and I'm going to put it in every aspect of my fields and my bodies. My physical body is being now told, you're going to be in a new version of you today. I've got you. I've got this. Let's do this. My mental body, you're going to be cleared and cleansed in higher vibrational thought forms, the gossamer webs of Source Creator. You're going to be bathed and cleansed and released of all patterns and programs that do not serve you anymore. You're okay. I've got you. My etheric field is going to be bathed and cleansed, and I'm going to radiate the light of Source Creator, of Spirit, of the universe. My emotional field is going to be bathed and soothed, and to know that you're pure love, and your emotional body helps you create. Your emotional body helps you feel good about who you are. My emotional body can change from feeling negative to feeling positive and loving in just moments, in seconds, and all cells are reinvigorated and re-energized into how I choose to be this highest version of me. I choose to garner this higher exploration of who I am. I choose to call in soul tribe from all over the universe because I can. I can choose to bring freedom and liberation into everything that I do and see and speak, and all that I can sing and all that I can be joyful to explore and express, because I get to choose how I perceive humanity. I choose to see humanity as purely love and healed and in oneness with one another, helping one another, caring for one another, being a blessing to one another that we all are. Unknown and unseen soul contracts in our oneness of the love that we have for one another. Even in the most challenging and most difficult contracts, they've been done at the highest frequency, and I know it's for my pressing out of my beautiful power to honor and own who I am, to manage who I am at my highest, to know that I've got power that I didn't know I had, to choose my own way, to choose my own voice, and to say, this is who I am now. So I appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of my soul contract. And I can appreciate every moment, because every moment is perfect. Every moment I break through. Every moment I allow myself to move in new ways. Every moment I can allow the sounds and the songs of Source, Creator of Gaia, of all that I am as a soul to come forward and sing and become new. And the sounds and the harmonics break through the density that I've held, and I release it and I let it go because that's my choice. That's my creatorhood. And every cell within my body is now vibrating in new ways. And I get to choose. I get to anchor in the new version of me. The embodiment of pure love, the embodiment of your own beautiful path, the beauty of your rebirth, the beauty of your coming forward, the beauty of your new stepping forward, of your new leveling up, the highest vision and version of you that you can imagine, and imagine all else in their highest version of themselves, glistening and sparkling and being their highest version. And all they want to do is live from their heart space. All they want to do is love. All they want to do is just release all the pettiness and just get on with loving. Just get on with it. And it just allows that beautiful emulance of your heart, the radiance and the elegance of your heart, just to live purely and lavishly through you. And that is living from the sacred heart center. All center is, it's all sacred. Every moment is sacred. Every moment is perfect. Because when you look back on it, you say, I understood why I went through that. I don't know why I spent so much time worrying about that. You know, you didn't believe in your perfection to know that this is worthy. You're going to know later. Just let it go. Let it move through you. Don't get stuck on the cycle, let it go. You'll see at a later date how it served you. You don't necessarily have to work it out in the moment of the frustration. Just let the energy move through you. And then you'll see, wow, I gained self-knowledge. I gained self-clarity. I gained self-empowerment. I gained my own self-direction, who I am as a clear vessel. Because each one of us has a clear version of who we are in our highest state. We have to connect to that higher state to say, oh yeah, that's me. No matter what anybody else says around you, you know who you are with you. That's the clarity of you. This is who I am. And we each get our free will to choose that. Not what anybody else thinks for us and of us. That's how we break all of those lineage and Akash energies that we've all come with. You know, to transcend, whether it's Aboriginal, Native, any of the subjugations that we've all faced in all realms, in all versions, in all bodies, in all forms. We've all experienced it all. And we're here to press out and become that highest version of all that we are, the expressiveness of love, the expressiveness of joy, the expressiveness of the purity of who we are as love. It's such a pure vibration, and it can be felt. So feel into the purity of excitement, feel into the purity of being a child again, feel into the purity of being joyful about being you, just because you're you. Go into each day. Today I'm just going to love being me. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't plan it, don't want to plan it. I'm releasing all that to the universe. I trust the universe. I'm in God's hands, I'm in Source's hands, I'm one with Spirit. I will be led to my destiny. My destiny will find me. I just got to be me. I gotta love me, I gotta honor me, I'm gonna nurture me, I'm gonna feed me with good thoughts, I'm gonna feed me with a good vibration. And if I do get stuck in a vibration or a thought that's as I'm moving through a density, or I'm helping clear a field of someone else, then I'm gonna stand strong within my center. I'm gonna say, you know what, this doesn't belong to me, it's not who I am anymore, it's not my truth. This is who I am now. And I'm gonna level up. And I'm gonna level up because I'm a leader, and I'm gonna show others how to do it too. And you can let go of it, just like changing your clothes. It can be that easy. This transition can be joyful. So allow yourself to play, imagine, and create as joyful as you can. And see anything in your reality. If you see something, if you're in the grocery store and you see, you know, they always have those magazines right at the cash desk, and it always kind of draws you into, okay, this is the fear that's going on in the world. You know, buy some groceries and here's all the fear. Allow yourself to say, you know what, this world is perfect. This world, we're working it out. We're going to send our love to everybody. We're going to imagine everyone as angels. We're going to imagine everyone is healed. We're going to imagine our planet being peaceful and loving. We're going to imagine the grids glowing with glowing golden light, and the holy energies of the earth coming up to bring new lush forth, and new lush life, and new lush wildlife. Be creative. You have every moment to do it. You know, whether you're walking through a store and you're seeing those that are upset, just know that you're glowing from within and your field affects the all. You're glowing from within and your potentiality affects the all. Know you're garnering your new version of you and you get to claim that. My light is profound. My light will show me the way. My light will honor me. My light will feed me. My light is all that I am. And my light will allow me to level up. And then give yourself time to be nourished by your light, to have your soul thread the light of all that you are as a version from the heavens to the earth and continue that process of nurturing. That's a really, really important part of self-care that I've been made aware of receiving, because many of us have come as light workers, always giving, and being exhausted to the point where you can't give anymore. And so it's really important to take that time to nourish and to receive, to be out in the sun and to be with nature, so that you're honoring the energies from the sun and from the earth to restore and replenish your cells, to restore and replenish who you are as a soul and a being. Your bodies, as if shifting into 5D, will require different becoming. I mentioned that in our experience last night. Your bodies are going to shift into this experience. Well, you know what? I'm going to completely shut off all electronics and TV for the day because I just want to be outside. It makes my body feel so good. So feel into the differences of how those cycles are changing. Many just used to sit in front of the TV all day long, and that used to be their form of connection. So now the versions, as you're becoming more truthfully you as a spirit, you're going to find them to be more vibrationally creative and exploratory, because that's just the natural process of, pressing out as a spirit, as a soul. You are a spirit having a human experience. So choose to garner that spiritual enlightenment, higher version vision of you as that vibrational embodiment that you can garner and bring down. And just perceive that, yes, I'm a spirit, I'm infinite, I'm eternal. What version of me can I bring to garner in this moment of now to help align the effort up and up? And there's going to be those wafflings back and forth for you to practice your mastery. It's never a straight up process. We're always going to be given opportunities to realign to center. That's not my belief anymore. I'm sorry that I held that belief or I held that judgment against you. It's just not who I am. I love you unconditionally. This is who I am now. And I hold you in the highest regard. I hold you as an angel, and I hold you as with deep respect and deep honor for allowing me to see my growth. You're allowing me to see that. And it takes great courage and practice to step away from the pain, if you will, if it's between relationships that have been, moving back and forth in painful cycles for eons, because some are very karmic. But we each have the power to call in the angels and assist us to say, please help me see past the pain here. Please help me to see past the illusion. And then you'll be lifted to that higher level to say, wow, you actually signed on to give me this experience so that I truly stand in my power. I let it go for so long, and now I'm going to stand in my power. I get to say this. I get to know who I truly am, and what a gift is that. Everyone gets to show us who we are. Everyone gets that. Everyone gets to allow us the opportunity to dig within all that we are and be the unconditional love that we are. We get to express it. We get to be it. We get to seek within it more. We get to create with it more. We get to shine with it more. We get to say, wow, I didn't know I could feel this way. I'm going to let that go really quickly. I want to be over here now. And that's how you can move through these cycles of transformation, stretching and pulling and stretching and pulling who you are, and stretching and pulling. Okay, wow, I'm just going to flow. Yeah, this feels good. I'm going to flow. Something's going to come up. I can handle it. And that's the acknowledgement, the acceptance and allowance of all that source is in all moments. You don't have to plan it out. There is no map. You know that you have the skills, so acknowledge whatever comes your way, you got it. You can accept it as a gift. It's all perfect. And you can allow it to become anything you want it to be by how you respond within it as love. So acknowledge it all. It's a part of you. You're allowing it to come forward to show you your depth of love, your depth of creativity, your depth of mastery, your depth of management, your depth of leadership, of who you are as spirit. You can alchemize anything. Accepting it as a part of the whole, not denying it, not suppressing it, not saying that doesn't work because it's a vibration you don't want to look at. That will keep you in that frequency of co-creating, because you're denying it. You're saying that's the repulsion experience of the law of attraction, and allowing it. Just allow it to be. You're great. You're perfect. You're awesome. You're a source creator. I don't have to agree with it. That doesn't have to be a part of my truth, but it's still source. I choose to be this now. You don't have to agree with anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, but accepting and acknowledging it and allowing it allows you to release it from your body for it to move on, instead of suppressing it or denying it or creating judgments against it and within it, because that's source creator, that's you. And that's what it is showing you. This is your oneness. Are you ready to accept it? Yeah, it's my oneness, but my truth is here. So you're accepting it as a part of the whole, and you're recreating your direction of how you choose to co-create. You're allowing it all to be. It's all source. It's all perfect. For that moment, for your co-creative, that's what you've come for. How can I stretch and press out my mastery? This is the phase of mastery. It's unconditional love, unconditional support, unconditional love of you. How may you support your management of you? How may you support your leadership and your new visions of you? I want to be more creative. I need more creative time. So allow that to be a part of your self-care. How can I be more nourishing and loving of me? Well, I'm going to take more snack breaks. I'll show you just a page. And I use affirmations for everything. Affirmations for everything. This is like a normal, just a page. What am I experiencing in my belief patterns, and how am I stretching out? What is it related to as a core belief, and how do I want to shift and change it? How do I want to create within my frequency? What is that one was my experience of attachment, and I wrote down, okay, well, my experience of attachment in my experiences are this, and I acknowledged it, I accepted it. Those are attachments that didn't serve me. I'm allowing it as a part of my journey and honoring it. I allow all of those aspects as my own, because it's source creator. And that's another aspect that's kind of a challenge as humans, because we're so judgmental of ourselves, because that's been our programming. Demeaning ourselves or disparaging ourselves for anything that we feel is not, because we've been conditioned as to good or bad. That's the polarity duality game. It's all source. It's a part of our learning and our growing. We wouldn't be able to be this expansive master if we didn't move through the forest of density and the forest of not knowing and darkness. And we only say darkness is because the light wasn't turned on for us to know that we're pure source, that we have the light within us to shed upon it and say, wow, I didn't believe in myself, and that's why I behaved that way, or that's why I called that in. So that I could stand and say, that's not who I am anymore. That doesn't feel right. I have greater respect now. So whatever your soul's journey is, it will show you in all your daily unfoldings, for you to fall deeper in love with you, to care for yourself, to honor yourself, to garner those higher frequencies. Yeah, I can feel this. I can do this. And I'm going to emulate it for others. I want them to have this beautiful energy and knowing of who they are as source. They're source creator. How awesome is that? This is what our planet is waiting for. Your source. Do you understand that you are source? Let's create some goodness. Let's create something unimaginable. Let's get together. Let's commune. Let's the soul tribes gathering. Those are the leaderships gathering. Let's do this. Let's commune at this higher vibrational frequency. Let's bring Gaia home. Let's bring humanity home. It's so exciting. These higher visions of you. Dream it and expand and go crazy. Just go out there. See yourself on light ships, see yourself on these beautiful crystalline platinum, cities of light that just honor and glisten with you, and you're just being free as you. That's the energies that Earth needs. We're going to bring the far out, and we're going to bring them down. I got an imagination. Let's do this. We are going to bring the far out, we're going to bring it down. That's who we are. It's who we've always been. Creative, far outness. So be it. Break through a new version. Break through and just see yourself out of that chrysalis just flying. You're colorful, beautiful, magnetic, gorgeous, vibrational, incredible, happy, joyful version of you. It's just out there. Allow yourself to be that authentic, beautiful vision of crystalline light that you are, and have the whole earth and the whole world be a part of your song and your dream. Be that vibration of excitement for you. That's what you came for. And we're just reminding you. We're so thankful for you and we love you so much. Allow yourself to be truly softened within your heart and within your soul that all is source, all is perfect and all is beautiful and all is holy. Holy is that highest version of us and our perfection of who we are as love. Purest version of love. So feel into it and allow that to drive your creativity because love is the vibration of evolution. It so is. We love you so much. Take care, dear lighted ones. What is your new vision of you? Time to play.